Hello everybody. Now let's get started the project practically. You can see this is in front of you on the browser the result that hello world, and this is the page index.php. But the first thing for a complete project, you first need to create its layout, the design, the structure of the website, that which kind of website you want to display or you want to show to your visitors, and after that you can go farther to expand the project. So the first thing is to create its layout, and for layout you actually need to create a CSS style sheet, because the website layout cannot be created or cannot be properly colorized or stylized without CSS or CSS3. So the first thing is to create a new file. Control N. You can create a new file by pressing Control N from your keyboard or going to File menu and New. Now this file will be CSS file. Here is the CSS extension for it. Just create it. After you created it, the first thing is to go somewhere on the internet and find the reset CSS code for it. That is very simple. Just go to Google and write CSS reset code. This is why the CSS reset code will actually remove all the default styles of a browser, of all browser. Whenever the websites will be viewed by a user or a visitor, so the default style will be removed, and your style which you have implemented yourself, that will be applied to your website. So things will be better and things will be properly working on your website. So the reset CSS code you can get from anywhere on the internet. Just write it, this keyword, you will find many websites. Just you can take the reset CSS code for your website layout. It's very simple. This kind of, just copy all of it, and I have copied it. I will just paste it inside here, right over here. Yes, and this is necessary because there are many tags, many tags in HTML. So if you write it yourself, you will just waste your time. So that is not good. You need to get some CSS reset code from somewhere. This is the reset. You can also remove these codes as well. We can later on edit if we need, but we can just remove it for now. The extra codes I have removed, and the basic thing is this one. This part is very necessary. All tags, and the margin should be 0, padding should be 0, border should be 0. So for all tags, these values or these properties should be 0. The margin, the padding, these are basically distances, and the body is, I will also remove the body. Now we need to save this file. Just go here and save this file. Save it inside the styles folder and name it style.css, because this is a CSS file, a style sheet file, so you need to name it style.css. Now after that you will write your own codes below this line here. The first thing, whenever we create a website layout, so we need to create some classes and IDs where we can define the CSS styles for those sections or for those HTML tags, or wherever we can later on call them. For example, the class in CSS is created with with a dot sign, and an ID is created with a hash sign. So we will create a class with a name container. This will be a container. So what will this container do? Container will do, this will actually hold the whole layout, and all other containers or all other elements will be inside this main container. So we need to first define its width. We'll define its width as 1000 pixels, and we will say the margin of it should be auto means it will be centered aligned, and we don't need anything else for now. We can add anything later if we need. And after the container, we need to create a class for the header, which maybe you can give any name, but in this case we will give a name like head. So a head is the name of this class. We will say that its width should also be 1000 pixels, because the main width of the container is 1000 pixels. So we also have given 1000 pixels to this, but we will also define the height for this head class, because the container does not have any height, but here we need a height because we need a fixed header. We don't want it to collapse as far as it can, so therefore we need to actually define a height as well. The height will be 100 pixel, and after the height we will just say background, and background will be white, or you can choose from the color, because Dreamweaver gives you all the tools to select your properties or your values very easily. Now till here we will just save it by Ctrl S, and also we will add some styles to the body. What we are going to add to the body is basically the body is not class or ID here in this case, because you need to add the full stop, or you can say, what is its name here? I actually sometimes forget the name of this sign. That is full stop basically. So if whenever you create a class or ID, so you need to add this full stop or the hash sign. But if you want to target a normal selector like HTML tags, so you don't need to put any hash sign or any full stop or anything like that. So you just direct write that selector name and write the styles for that. So we say that the background color of the body should be something like gray color. We'll just say okay, save it all. Now just go to your because we have this file open over here, the index file, just refresh it, you see nothing. Why? Because we have removed that as well, that h1. But we go to this style, we have said that the background color should be gray for the body, but there is no result. Or here you can see, this is why, because we have not included the CSS style sheet into our main file index.php, and that is very necessary because this is an external file, so we need to first include it in the main file. Just include it inside the head tag. Before the closing head tag, write link, and rel means relationship is style sheet, and after that just say what is the hyperreference for this aref, the hyperreference, and that is style / style.css. means inside the style folder there is a file called style.css. So this is attached with it. We will link this to this main file, so it will work after that. And media means all, for all devices, for example for computers, for mobiles, for everything. So you have closed, this is a single tag, and always add it inside the head tag, because this is not to show on the browser or in the body. Now after that, just Control S to save this page and come to your browser, just refresh this thing. You still see nothing, so you should refresh it. Okay, nothing so far. See why there is the problem. Now when you have included this style.css to this your main page, so you can remove the external file from here because you have it inside this. As node 1 on the local disk. Okay, let me check. Styles, there is style file, index, now style, oh sorry, styles. This folder is styles, not style. Now come over again and refresh this page, and you see the color has been changed from white to gray. Basically we did a mistake over here. We didn't we wrote the name of the folder wrongly, misspelled. We misspelled actually the name. Now come over here and you have your style sheet over here. Now just come here and add some tags over here. For example, one div tag, and we say this is the header. Before the header tag, we need to insert class container, and the container name is wrong actually. We need to change that as well. Let's come over here, container. Okay, I have just changed the name, the container, and I will also change over here container, and we will just close the container. The container div we will close just at last. After that, you need to insert all the other divs. For example, that is for header, and I will say div, this is the menu or navigation bar, and I will create another one, say this is the body, the post body, and the last one, not the last one, this is the sidebar, and the last one will be div, this is the footer. So it's really simple. We have just, for a website layout, always you need to create the sections, and we have 5 sections. The first one is the header, second one is the menu and the post body, and then the sidebar, and at last the footer. So now what you need to do actually to add the class you created earlier, this one, the head class, to the first, the header class is head. Okay, Control S to save. Come over here, press your page, and you see your header is white. Now you need to actually remove the text. I have removed the text, and now you can add other text. For example, image text, mg source is equal to the images folder. You can browse from here directly. You have an images folder over here, this one. You can use these images. So I will write here like source will be images, and the image is the logo. I have to check its name. The name of my image which is logo. Yes, this is just logo, and the type of the image is PNG. PNG, yes. Just write its name, logo.png. This is the image I have just added. Control S to save. Come over here, refresh the page, and you see your logo has come over here. Now the second thing is another image, that is banner, add underscore banner, and this is GIF image. So you need to just say image source is images add underscore banner dot GIF. That's it, and Control S to save. Now come to your page. So this is coming over here. This is why because we don't have any styles for them. So let's create styles, some two IDs for these two. For example, the one ID will be logo, and ID is always created with the hash sign. First you need to insert hash sign and then the name of the ID. Whatever name you want you can give, and we will just simply say float left. We'll float it left, and we'll just copy it and paste it again after it, and we will change its name to banner, and we will say float right. Just we need this thing, nothing else. So come over here now, add the one class to this one, above one, ID is equal to logo, and ID is equal to banner. Now just save all from here, file, save all. Now come over here, but you don't see any changes. This is because we have a small height for this section, or you can say for this header. So we need to actually increase the size to 120 pixels. We'll just refresh it, save it. No, that is also not the problem. Problem is something else. Let's see what is the problem. Float. Oh, sorry, I'm really sorry. This is not the problem. This is 100 pixel is right. The problem is here in the logo. We have just misspelled the name of the property. The float is, we have missed A in both the properties name, so it will not work until you not write correctly. So I have saved all. Now come here, refresh. You are saying now this is something beautiful. Okay, create another class. For example, like a class like navbar. So a navbar class I have created. I will just say width is 1000 pixel, and height I will say 50 pixel, and background I will say just very simple. Background color would be 100% black. You can select from this color. Just Control S to save. Now come here, and this is your section or your div for the menu. I will just separate it from the others so it can. Now just add your class over here. Class is equal to navbar. Now just write anything like navbar. Control S to save. Come here, refresh it, and you see you have your navbar over here. Anyhow, go to styles again, and the height is also misspelled, so I again corrected it, refreshed. Now come again, refresh your page, so you see this is your menu bar. We can also create the simple, very simple content area. Content area we can create something like with a class content underscore area, or you can say post area, post underscore area, and its styles will be something like we need to add some width for it, because the total area we have 1000 pixels in the container, and we are dividing it to two sections, like one for sidebar, this one, and this one for post body or post area, content area. So we need to actually say like this, 750 pixels is the width, and the height is for right now. We don't actually add height, but for now, just for checking the result or for testing the page, we need to add a height as well of 600 pixel, and we will say that background is white, background will be white. Okay, and we say that, okay, we say nothing, just Control S and float it left, because it will be left aligned. Create another class with sidebar, and its width will be something like 250 pixel, height will be the same, 600 pixel, background will be something like this thing. Okay, so we have created two more classes just for completing this thing project, or creating the layout. Just go there, this is your post body, just add something to it, something goes here, add the class to this div, class is equal to post area, yes, Control is to save, and this is your sidebar. Add your class here, we'll add the class sidebar over here, we just say something goes here, Control is to save. This is the last one, the footer. Now come here, and this is your footer, but there is no sidebar. Let's see why. Sidebar width 250 pixel, and height is that, and background is that, and float will be right. Yes, because the content area is left, so this will be right. Sidebar, yes. Come and refresh, you see this as well. This is your layout. the basic structure of your layout is now in front of you. We can also add the footer, some styles for the footer. We will later on add more style to this, but the basic thing is basic. So we need to create footer underscore area. This is another class we have created for footer area, and we will say that width should be 1000 pixel, and we will write a code like height would be 100, background will be black color, absolutely black, color will be, text color will be white, and we also say that clear will be both of the above classes or the above elements will be cleared over here, and then we can just add the class over here, like in the footer area, sorry. Now Control S to save, come over here, refresh the page, and see this is your footer. This has just been created in this one tutorial. We have added the logo, the banner, and area for the menu bar, or you can say the navigation bar, and this is your content area where the content will be coming from the database, the main content, the post and image with the post and the comments and everything. And this is your sidebar where you can put or you can insert anything. This is your footer area, and the background is this body, and we created this simply by using some CSS. You can find it over here, the classes and the IDs. I hope you are not getting bored with this project, because this is very important project, so I hope you will enjoy it. So this is the CSS code, some we copied from the internet, the reset, and the rest we have written over here in front of you. And this is the source code for the project. We included the style sheet file, and this is the container. I will write some comments as well over here for better understanding. HTML comments are written like this: the less than sign, or you can say the bracket, and then the exclamation sign, and two dashes, and then say this is main container start, and two dashes, and then close it. So this is the main container area that start from there, and header is started from here, starts from here. We can just say header start. Okay, this is the comment, and we will say that header ends here. These are some comments, basically very simple. I can copy this one to here, and I would say that navigation bar start. We'll close it over here. We can then add many content inside the nav bar. That is a later thing in next tutorial. And I will say, I just copied and pasted it again over here. Content area start and content area ends here. Content area ends, and another is sidebar. Sidebar is from here. Sidebar starts. This is just for for letting other designers know that where is the work is coming from and where the sections, actually you divide the sections into pieces. So I say sidebar ends over here, and this is your footer for this project. Footer starts here and footer ends here. Okay, we have added this because we'll be adding more codes and more tags in upcoming videos, so it will be then more complex, will be looking more complicated, so therefore we needed to make it in order in the starting so we cannot face any difficulty later on. And that's it, I have saved it. In this video we have just created this layout, and I will see you in next tutorial where we will be able to create this navigation bar for this layout, and we will be also then talking about inserting the data into database and also retrieving or recalling that data into this menu. Basically the categories I am talking about, we will first insert them to the database and then we will show them on this menu. So see you in next tutorial.